You know, in the world of wellness, you've got your trends, and then you've got your tidal waves. Right now, we're all riding the collagen wave. It's in our coffee, it's in our smoothies, it's everywhere. The promise? Younger skin, stronger hair, joints that don't complain, all from a scoop of powder. But here's the real question we need to ask. Is this just the greatest marketing play of the decade, or have we actually stumbled onto the body's own instruction manual for turning back the clock? If you want to understand just how big this is, just follow the money. The collagen market is on track to hit a staggering $7.5 billion by 2027. I mean, think about that. This isn't some niche health fad anymore. This is a global empire, and it's built on one incredibly powerful idea, that maybe, just maybe, we can consume our way back to youth. And that really brings us to the core of it all, doesn't it? Is this a genuine scientific breakthrough that can actually rewind aspects of aging? Or is it just the most successful wellness fad of our lifetime? And here's what's so interesting. The answer isn't a simple yes or no. The truth? Well, it's way more complex, and it's hidden deep inside our own biology. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we can even begin to talk about the supplement, we have to understand the source code. To really get this, we need to look at what collagen actually is. Let's just ignore the marketing for a second and look at the blueprint, what this stuff actually does inside your body. Just imagine collagen as the literal scaffolding that's holding your entire body together. It is the single most abundant protein we have, making up about 1/3 of all the protein in you. It's the framework that gives your skin its structure, the rebar inside your bones, the flexible cables that make up your tendons. It is no exaggeration to say it's the glue that holds us together. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. That scaffolding doesn't last forever. Right around age 25, your internal collagen factory starts to slow down production by about 1, maybe 1.5% every single year. By the time you're 40, you've lost a serious chunk. By 60, you could be down by half. And listen, this isn't some theory, it's a straight-up biological fact. It's the fundamental process we all know as aging. So that leads us to the multi-billion-dollar question. Can taking a supplement actually push back against this natural decline? For years, honestly, the answer was murky. The evidence came from small studies, a lot of them funded by the industry itself. But here's what most people don't realize. That's just not the case anymore. The real data is finally in. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. In just the last couple of years, new, rigorous, placebo-controlled studies have been published that put collagen to the ultimate test. And they're giving us the clearest picture we have ever had. So let's just forget the hype for a minute and look at the hard evidence. Okay, let's look at a landmark double-blind study from 2024. Researchers took a group of people aged 40 to 60 and gave them a daily collagen supplement. After just 12 weeks, they didn't just ask them how they felt. They took biopsies and measured the very structure of their skin. The results were stunning, a 44.6% decrease in collagen fragmentation. What does that even mean? It means the very framework of their skin was literally repairing itself, becoming less broken and more whole. But wait, it didn't stop there. That same study also looked at hair, and what they found was a 27.6% average increase in hair density. Now that's not just the feeling of having thicker hair, it was measurably, physically thicker in just 3 months. And this might be the most impressive part. They saw a 37.3% drop in hair shedding. So it wasn't just about growing more hair, it was about keeping the hair you already have. And you have to remember, these aren't just feelings or opinions. These are hard clinical numbers. All right, so skin and hair are one thing, but what about joint pain? Well, this is where the evidence gets even stronger. A brand new 2025 meta-analysis, that's a study of studies, looked at over 800 patients and found significant improvements in both their pain and their ability to move. Another huge review from 2024 concluded with high certainty of evidence that collagen provides real relief. And now scientists think they've figured out how it works. The collagen peptides seem to act like a signal, basically telling your own cartilage cells to wake up and get back to work. Okay, so the science seems pretty compelling, right? But hold on, there's a crucial piece of this puzzle, a detail that pretty much determines whether any of this stuff actually works for you. It's the critical cofactor that most people have never heard of, and it makes all the difference. And this is where things get interesting, because you could be taking the most expensive, top-shelf collagen on the planet, but without this one crucial element, your body just
can't use it. It's like dropping a pile of perfect bricks at a construction site, but you have no workers and no tools. You've got the raw materials, but that house is not getting built.
That critical element is vitamin C. Your body absolutely requires it for a key chemical step in building collagen. Without enough vitamin C, the building blocks you get from a supplement can't form that stable, strong structure that gives collagen all its power. On its own, you get weak, floppy, dysfunctional molecules. But when you add vitamin C, your body can weave those exact same molecules into the strong, functional network it needs. Remember the old stories about pirates getting scurvy? Well, at its core, scurvy is just a complete catastrophic failure of collagen production, all because of a lack of vitamin C. Okay, so we've got promising science, and we know vitamin C is absolutely key. But if you've ever walked into a health store, you know it's an overwhelming wall of choices. It's completely confusing. So let's cut through all that noise and build a simple guide to figure out what actually matters. Look, it really boils down to two main types you need to know about. For general support, we're talking skin, hair, nails, you're looking for hydrolyzed collagen, sometimes called peptides. The dose that works in studies is usually between 2.5 and 10 grams. But for a very specific issue like osteoarthritis, a totally different form called undatured type 2 seems to work best, and at a tiny dose of just 40 milligrams. The takeaway here, match the type to your goal. It's that simple. And hey, here's a little pro tip you might not know. Think about the source. Some research suggests that marine collagen, which comes from fish, is made of smaller particles. And because of that, your body might be able to absorb it up to 1.5 times more efficiently than collagen from cows. It's one of those small details that could actually make a huge difference. So, we've seen the science, we know what to look for. But this is where we have to pump the brakes, because there's a huge catch. A hidden danger lurking in this industry. And honestly, this detail changes everything. And that danger? It all comes down to one simple, critical fact. In the United States, supplements are not regulated like drugs. The FDA doesn't check them before they hit store shelves. That means companies don't have to prove their product is safe or that it even works. That is the unregulated reality of this entire industry. So what does that actually mean for you? It means you are walking into the Wild West every single time. One survey found over half the products on the shelf don't even tell you where their collagen comes from, a massive risk if you have a fish allergy. Even worse, independent investigations have found some supplements contaminated with toxic heavy metals like cadmium. And those seals of approval you see on other products that verify purity, they are almost never found here. You're looking at a whole industry built on trust with almost zero verification. And that right there, that's the paradox of collagen. On one hand, you have compelling new science showing real, measurable benefits. On the other, you have a completely unregulated market that is basically a minefield. The potential reward is real, but so is the risk. Which leaves the final and most important question, not for me to answer, but for you. Is the potential reward worth the very real risk?
Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, small choices create big changes. Keep nourishing your health with love and consistency. See you in the next Vital Elixir video.